The Johnsky is a YouTube channel run by and run for people over the age of 13. People under the age of 13 should click off of this video right now, or watch with a parent or guardian. Viewer discretion is advised.
You don't scare me!
Milt is freaking today, and my name is King Prime, and welcome back to another video here on the YouTube channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at another brand new Transformers Studio Series action figure, that being the Transformers Studio Series 86 Voyager class Autobot Ratchet. And there's the packaging. It can barely fit into screen, so we will zoom out and take a look at it before we take a look at the figure. Of course, in the front here, we have a nice artistic render of Ratchet, shooting at the Decepticons before he gets fucking murked. Down at the bottom, we have his name, Autobot Ratchet, 8623. Big red Transformers logo there, and the Generations and Takara Tomy trades. The Transformers, the movie trades as well, logo on the top as well. We have that same picture of Ratchet screaming at you before he gets, again, fucking murked. 86, Studio Series trades along the side, as well as the Voyager class text there. That same image of Ratchet as well as the slipcover. This is a authentic figure. On the back here, we do have a, the big screen inspired thing, as well as where this guy appeared for 5 seconds before he got childhood traumatized into non-existence. There is a tiny little bio there, and the promo for what will be coming next. Legal jargon, and that is almost it. But of course, since this is a Studio Series 86 figure, of course this figure has the backdrop so that you can recreate all of your, childhood trauma, which is very fun. You can put him there lying dead like Peter Griffin, which is very funny. But as I say in every single video, my friends, you only really care about the packaging if you are a carded or boxed collector, of which I'm not. I'm here to open and review toys, and that is just what I'm going to do. Freeze frame.
There is only one great leader in the universe. Have a seat, boss.
Thrones are for Decepticons.
Freeze frame unfreeze, and here is Ratchet out of the packaging. Before we take a look at him, let's take a look at what he comes with. Of course, the only accessories he has is, fittingly, the pistols that he was using while he was killed on the bridge of the Autobot shuttle. Seems they're ironhide. These are, I think, exactly the same, even down to the plastic underneath being black. They're very hollow. That's intentional, but I wish they were a little bit fuller. There's a lot of gaps in there. If this was, plain and smooth, except for that little square right there on either side, I wouldn't be too mad about it. Of course, Ratchet can hold these, like so, one in one hand and one in the other. He can do the thing before he gets instruments of destruction, tools of power and pain. But that is all of his accessories. I guess if you really, really wanted to nitpick it, you could count his light bar on his legs as accessories as well. They are removable pieces, and that's why I've left the rubber bands that come in the packaging on them. I don't want them to fall off and get lost, so I'm just, going to keep those on there. But that's truly it. As for Ratchet himself, he is a perfect, well, I would say nearly perfect visage of his G1 self, except for, the red crosses on either shoulder, because apparently the Red Cross is really stingy about what brands get to use to represent their medical symbols. The Cadus is not represented, so they have this kind of like sextuple-sided Red Cross with an Autobot symbol. I think Ratchet in Transformers 1 had that on his vehicle mode, but I'm not quite sure. As for everything else, he is wonderfully crisp and white. There is no yellowing on this figure yet. I hope that I don't have to experience that ever. I like this figure a lot, and so I don't want it to yellow at all. His head is, of course, painted with that nice silver that we're used to with these Studio Series 86 figures. His eyes are a nice baby blue, and he has that Ratchet head crest thing done in a sort of a sort of glossy gray dark plastic, which is, effective, and he does have a sort of, stern face. He doesn't look as angry as our dear friend Ironhide. Going down, he does have clear blue windshield, transparent blue plastic painted over with the white paint. Same thing on the sides of his legs. That's where the light bars get plugged into. And that's it. His hands are red. I don't know why the inside right here is not painted, but everything else underneath it is. As you can see, his hands are quite hollow. probably just to avoid paint rubbing. A little Autobot symbol right there on his chest. And that's about it for his detail. Moving on to articulation, he does have a ball joint at the head as well as a hinge, so that he can get a little bit extra downward movement due to the transformation. As you can see, that's all the way up, and then you can just all the way down. So the ball joint assisted with the hinge, you can get a pretty far down looking pose and then just a little bit up. But other than that, full ball joint. You have a full 360 degree range of motion at the shoulder as well as an out joint with that little cool, protoform or whatever the hell this is supposed to be called, like the mechanical detail to show sort of the cartilage or the joint extending, which I think is pretty cool. I love that detail. I loved it on Ironhide and I love it on Ratchet too. He also has a bicep swivel right up at the top of the bicep. You can see the peg right there. He has a really almost perfectly 90 degrees of elbow bend. You also have a wrist swivel, which I do love to see. That can go 360 degrees, as well as down because of the transformation joint. So if you wanted to give him a sword, you could point it at someone like that. He has a full 360 degree waist swivel, which is great to see, as well as a crotch flap. And mind the view here for his hips, so you can see the peg joints that are just going to be in there to swivel the leg that far forward, that far back, and then of course there's a pinned hinge in there, so you can get a kick that far out. So great articulation at the hips. He does of course have a thigh swivel, which is good to see, as well as a pretty average, and by average I mean almost perfectly 90 degrees again, knee bend, which is cool, as well as a really extreme downward foot joint, which is of course due to the transformation, as well as a pretty decent ankle pivot, so you can get him about that far comfortably doing the splits. And of course, if you really wanted to do the thing, you get him doing the Optimus Prime crunk pose from Transformers 1, which I find absolutely hilarious. But bringing in some friends for comparison here, let me just move Ratchet back here. Here we have him next to our previous Transformers 2D Series 86 review. Brawn, his fellow Autobot shuttle murder victim. Here he is next to a little Lego minifigure, such as our dear friend Luke Skywalker. And here he is next to an older friend, Classics 06 Optimus Prime. As you can see, he is dwarfed by Prime. He's a little bit taller than Brawn, and I think he's about minifigure scale to Luke. That looks about right, judging from the G1 cartoon to here. But that's enough for the comparison. Let's get on to the transformation so I can show you exactly how Ratchet works. Freeze frame.
How much time do we have?
Impossible to know. The sooner we launch the Ark, the better.
Optimus, take whatever spark that remains within me. Use it to light your way across the stars.
Metroplex, my friend. You don't have to do this. There's no guarantee you have enough energon to even get us to the space bridge.
This is my choice.
Freeze frame unfreeze. So to transform Ratchet, I like to start from the top down. I know this may be contradictory to what I said in the Ironhide video, but just hear me out because I'm going to try to explain everything that I have issues with this figure in one step. So, just bear with me as I try to do that. So, first of all, I'm just going to put the hands down, try to make sure that they are not rotated in any fashion, and make sure that they're all the way down, otherwise it's going to block hindrances. And just kind of break Ratchet's arms like this. It'll make sense in a second. Just give me a little bit to explain that. Next, turn around to the back and bring down the front bumper from the vehicle mode all out of the way. Next, bring out the chest cavity as far as it will go, and then unfold the roof of the van or the ambulance mode. Rotate out these little clear blue pieces and be very careful These are loose, and I do fear that at some point they are going to snap because they are, again, made of that clear blue plastic. You can put Ratchet's head away, and then get ready to do the hard part. You're going to put this all the way down, and then while making sure that the front bumper is all the way down, take hold of either side of the front of the vehicle and just pull it up like this. Try to get it out of the way all the way as you rotate it completely around, and it will catch on the tires. It always does. And then bring it up like this. At this point, you can, just rest the top of the vehicle on its other sides of the windows where it's supposed to be, and then bring up the front bumper of the ambulance. That's pretty much the front of the vehicle done. At this point, you can bring around Ratchet's arms and then orientate them in a way, like an upward movement like this, so that the top of his forearms are aligned with the top of the van. It'll make sense once we connect it all together. And then you can put them together like that. Next, you're just going to want to move down to the legs. Firstly, take the clear pieces that the light bar is attached to and fold them out like that. And then take the really nice greebled bits that also house the back of the fender for the front wheel and just rotate them forward like so. You don't have to do it all the way, just so that they're kind of in place. And then you can connect either leg. Bring the entire assembly up so that Ratchet's legs are just a little bit pointed forward. Then you can tab those pieces right into that hole right there. You can see there's that little tab. There's the hole right in there. Tab that in. Do the exact same thing on the other side. Get that nice and secure. And then when you do this, you're going to want to take this, and it's just easier this way. Take the hood piece out and then connect the top parts like this. Bring the top of the car back down, and the part that I hate the most, I will zoom in for this. There are two clear bits right here that somehow hook right in between the clear piece and the top of the vehicle. As you can see, there's just a little groove in there and a little groove in there. That's where they go. Push it in, and they will sit in there. I do not think that is going to hold up over time, but, in Hasbro and in their plastic quality, which is absolutely the shoddiest in the business, we trust. Coming back around to the rear of the vehicle, the next thing I'm going to do is fold down the feet and fold up these little panels here that will hide the joint for the foot. You can rotate both of the feet up. At this point, you're going to want to fold out these panels from the bottom of the feet and then fold out these windows all the way. Fold down the foot on the rear joint while bringing it up on the joint we just exposed so that it will come and become flush with the roof of the vehicle. It will also tab into the sides there. I'll show you. As you can see, there's that tab. There's a hole right there. Push it in, it will tab in. Then there's tabs and holes or slots or, any kind of link arm on either sides of these panels going all the way throughout the figure. Just connect those, and eventually you'll be able to press in the rear of the vehicle. As you can see, there are just little tabs that will slide into, and that is the vehicle mode completed. Of course, there is something missing to this. You do have weapon storage, which is very much appreciated. All you need to do is take this little square right here, or this little rectangle, plug it into the rectangle on the weapon with the handle of the weapon facing inwards. Just put that there, and you do have these sort of exhaust pipes or, backwards laser shooting cannons, which I find hilarious. And now you do have a completed vehicle mode. Perfect for all your ambulance and also mass shifting needs. To bring in some comparisons to show you exactly how big Ratchet is, here is our previous review, the Transformers Studio Series 86 Deluxe Class. Brawn. Here is a little LEGO minifigure such as Luke Skywalker. Again, I think this is pretty much minifigure scale. I'm just not sure. And here is our old friend, Classics 06, Optimus Prime. And that's how you can see. That's a very good looking shot. I'm not going to lie. That looks almost perfect, at least to my eyes. As you can see, just moving Brawn to the side there for a second. He is about prime length, just without the feet. So he's a pretty hefty guy in vehicle mode, to show you at least that mass shifting is real. Here he is next to Brawn. Brawn is about 2/3 of a Ratchet. That is about it for the comparison. Let me get down to my final thoughts so I can tell you exactly what I think about Ratchet. Freeze frame.
This is merely the beginning. I now possess enough dark energon to reanimate Unicron himself. Yes!
Freeze frame, unfreeze. So overall, I really don't have a lot that is negative to say about this figure. I like Ratchet as a character. I think that the painting and sculpting on this figure is fantastic. The articulation's pretty average. The only thing that really concerns me are the clearances that are indicative of this entire mold. I have the same exact grievances with Ironhide. If you want to hear a repeat of that, just go and watch that review. Otherwise, I think that this figure is not going to hold up over time, even though I do absolutely love playing with it. It's one of my favorite hand candy figures to transform, and the more you transform it, you will get better at avoiding the QC issues, but no one should have to do that. Let's keep it real. I don't think the issues that I have with this figure should prevent anyone from getting it. This figure was pretty widely available, so I do really like it, and think that any G1 fan or Ratchet fan would like it as well. However, I do issue warning, because we do know that some of these A, white, and B, clear plastic heavy figures are known to degrade over time. But if that doesn't dissuade you, or you like Ratchet, or you like G1, or you like Transformers 1986, or you like Transformers in general, make sure you share this video with your friends, share it with Facebook groups, all that good stuff. If you like the content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe down below. Keep helping me pump out this content. Keeps helping the channel grow. That's going to be pretty much it for this time, my friends. Thank you all so very much for watching, and as always, peace.